All right. Today is a very ranty day, it appears. I just have a lot of things to complain about, and they're all about the same thing, pretty much. Okay. This is just getting ridiculous now. So apparently, because of their energy, photons can have their own gravitational influence, according to Einstein, and can even affect things like electrons, which is something known and calculated, right? So what I mean by that is like, according to Einstein's, equations and stuff, or from my understanding, I haven't like looked in this a lot, but I watched a video and this is what they said basically. And, I believe it because I believe that it's just this dumb. Right? And so basically what they say is we can observe the gravitational influence that photons have on electrons. Like, we can calculate it and observe it, right? And the reason why this happens is because photons just have so much energy that they warp space-time around them, right? As if they had mass, right? As if they were creating gravity from mass, but instead of creating gravity from mass, they're creating it from energy because they don't have mass, right? And so, we will continue. Why do we think they don't have mass again? This is just wild to me, that we say that it behaves just like mass in every way, but it isn't mass. It's like, I'm so baffled by this. My predictions have already been proven, and yet everyone thinks they don't have any significance. It's just bizarre to me. Like, I don't get it. Like, we can then use this to predict a level of uncertainty in the motion due to gravity, and this then leads me back to why we don't think all the uncertainty is from gravitational effects in the first place, right? I am just so confused how both the evidence and proof is there for anyone who just looks. It's actually crazy. Like I don't need to back up any of my claims with mathematical proofs and evidence because it's there. You just gotta look. If you look, it's there. Like, I don't need to prove this. Like, I'm not, like this is just, it's there. It's there. It's spelled out for us. We're just blind. I don't understand. It's so weird. It's so weird because every time I look, every time I see a new thing, like, I didn't know that we actually observed gravitational influence from photons. I didn't know that was a thing. I just assumed, my theory is not based off of like knowing this information. I just found this out. And I'm like, okay, yeah, because they have mass. That's why they have gravity. Right? But that's not what we think. What the heck? What are we doing? Gravity is even a defining factor in the Planck length limit, which again only proves we can't see it, and not that it isn't there. You have to use both general relativity and quantum mechanics to make it work, which is what my theory does, right? So my theory is basically merging merging general relativity and quantum mechanics by just, realizing that gravity is not, doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. It can't go away. It's like the only thing. It's the only thing. Like, it can't, you can't lose gravity because gravity's not a force. It's an emergent behavior, and it's not defined by mass. It really isn't. Right? And we could even argue it's not defined by mass because apparently photons don't have mass and they just have energy, and we still see gravity happening. Right? So if gravity can happen even when there's no mass, why do we think that gravity disappears at low masses? It doesn't make any sense. There's no logic. I don't understand what's going on here. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre because, photons have gravity. Oh, okay, but no mass. Okay, sure, right? And the other thing I was saying here is, Um, you know, because now I'll list these things out. Okay, so photons have mass, right? No, oh, sorry, sorry, that's my bad. That's my bad. That's my assumption, right? So okay, so photons. Well, we know they have energy. Okay, we know that they have gravity, right? Okay, we know that they behave as a particle, right? In certain scenarios, right? In certain scenarios, they behave as a particle. Or actually, basically every scenario, they behave as a particle. If you observe a photon, it is a particle. Every time. Right? So you can't observe a photon as a wave. It is always as a particle. Right? So we know it's always as a particle. We know that it has gravity. We know that it has energy. We know that we can shoot a beam of these particles with energy and gravity. We know that the equation used to calculate this energy can also then be extrapolated to things we have discovered to actually have mass. You know, like anything to say that photons don't have mass. And I think the main reason why we don't think they have mass is because, well, they're traveling at the speed of light or the speed of causality. It's the fastest things go. They can't have mass if they're traveling that fast. But here's the thing. Just say they're not traveling at that speed, right? Say they're traveling just a little bit slower. All of a sudden, they can have mass and still travel at basically light speed. Basically the speed of causality. Sorry, my bad. Nothing breaks. Nothing breaks. Do it. Give photons just the tiniest bit of mass. Show me where it breaks things. I don't think it does. I don't think it can. Because if the energy calculation stays the same, but you just factor in a little bit of mass to accommodate for the fact that it's just slightly slower than the speed of causality, nothing breaks. Nothing. You know? So I don't know what we're fighting against at this point. It's just a matter of principle at this point. You know, it's the dogma of our religion, and I hate it. I just listed off the evidence. There's so much evidence that basically everything says, yeah, no, this does have mass. Everything says that. But we refuse to accept it. And I don't understand why. And also, the Planck length is the limit that we can observe, right? That's the farthest we can observe. That is not the actual limit of the universe, right? That's not as small as things get. That's just as small as we can observe. And that's important, right? Because there's a limit to how high we can observe too, right? There's a limit to how big we can observe, right? We can't see everything. We can see a lot, but we can't see everything, right? Because there's a limit. We don't see dark matter. We know there's dark matter, but we don't see dark matter. We can't actually see black holes. We can see what black holes do, but we can't see them for themselves, right? We can't see that, right? That doesn't mean that they're not there. That doesn't mean that a black hole's not actually real. That doesn't mean that there's nothing there. We just can't see it. And that's okay. That's fine. That's our limit. That's our restriction. That's okay. We don't need to actually see that far. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist, right? Just because you can't see across the ocean doesn't mean there's not another side, right? It doesn't mean it's infinite expanse forever because you can't see the other side. That conclusion makes no sense. Just because you don't have the tools to see that far doesn't mean it's not there. And I'm just adding that on as a side tangent to this. Again, why can't photons have mass again? I don't know. It would be nice if I got some people that truly understood the topic that I could debate, because if I could debate them, then I would come to a conclusion. Right? Because if I had people that truly understood everything, right? Because I don't. If I had people that truly understood everything and I could talk to them, And if I could argue with them, and then then they're the only, if anyone could prove that I'm being stupid, it'd be them, right? Because they know everything. Right, no one knows everything, right? Then, okay, then I'd be like, all right, you proved it. All right, fair enough. I can't refute that. I just highly doubt anyone could. And that's not because I'm being, I'm just making up excuses. I have proof. This isn't coming out of absolutely nowhere, right? I have evidence. All of these videos are potential evidence. Some of them are me just babbling, but some of these are just me pointing at evidence and saying, yeah, here's another one, right? It's not like I'm not backing this up with anything. And the reason why I don't provide sources is because I don't want you to just take my word for it. Go look this stuff up. Try and prove it wrong. If you actually look, I don't think you can. Maybe you can. I don't think you can. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Peace out.